Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our chats with Emily as we are calling our readings to the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition. We turned out to poem 706, Life and Death and Giants. And you want to pay attention, obviously, to the trinities of this poem. Now, Priest has called this a gnomic poem. And our assumptions here are that you've been following our stuff at learnstrong.net. Down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily's our playlist. I'm hopeful that he works through our set of introductory comments as well as the preceding 705 poems. We just finished with 705, Suspense is Hostile. Now, the great scholar Ruth Miller has used this poem to make the observation that Emily here is pessimistically regarding the seemingly gigantic occurrences of life and death as, in fact, minor and insignificant, merely material, Miller will call it, for being ground up in the hopper of the mill. Emily will argue, we're like a beetle at the candle, so that our death is never far away. As we've said, you have not met any 300-year-old people, and that tells you something profound. Every child who swings at the park doesn't want to go to the van. They want to keep swinging. Of course, the child has to go to the van. The van is always waiting. The hopper at the mill. We're like the beetle at the candle, so our death is never far away, and our life's fame is played on the tiny, insubstantial instrument of the fife. The beetle and the fife between them proclaim, Miller finishes, that what happens is accidental and without cause. In other words, Miller finishes, there is no grand tune or grand message. Now, this is another comparison poem. Some have seen this as one of Emily's more darker, skeptical poems, and I think you're going to have to decide, guys, for yourself how you read this in terms of tone. Life and death and giants, such as these, are still minor apparatus. Hopper of the mill, beetle at the candle, or a fife's fame maintained by accident that they proclaim. Now, I think the word accident here is the key word of the poem. And this is the brilliance of Emily. She can sometimes seem to argue that there's all this meaning in life that is so important. And then in other poems, like this one, she seems to suggest that life and death and anything else, she'll just call it giants. The big things are in the end just accidents. Just accidents, that's it. There is no real meaning. We can't help but read something like this and think about Crane's Red Badge of Courage and the way in which so much of that novel seems to be suggesting his naturalism, something very similar. Notice, she'll begin with her threes, life and death and giants, the big things of life, such as these are still. I've told you guys, her use of the word still is quite compelling. We, again, have 95 poems where she's playing that game. We've commented on T.S. Eliot's use of the word still in four quartets, especially. We must be still and still moving. The idea of still, in other words, still as in what? They're still here, but they're also kind of silly still, as in useless or accidental, if you will. Such as these are still, and then she'll call it minor as opposed to giants. Apparatus, and then it's hopper of the mill. It's all just part of grist for the mill. In other words, the wheel just keeps turning. Beetle at the cradle, beetle at the candle, or fife's fame. In other words, the beetle is attracted to the flame, or the fife's fame, the playing of a small musical instrument, maintained, and then by accident that they proclaim. The idea of proclaiming or making the proclamation. In other words, what is the meaning of all of this? I think her argument in this poem in 2a is that life, oftentimes, the big things are actually quite little, and even the little things are little. Everything seems to be almost by accident. At 2b, some have seen this as a pretty dark, pessimistic voice. I'm going to leave it to you. At 3a, what text can we compare this to? Well, think about our study of Voltaire's Candide and the way in which, in the end, the best that can happen is to cultivate our own gardens, right? Everything else seems to be kind of silly and accidental, we might say. Finally, at 3b, what about you? Do you struggle with this idea of just seeing everything as kind of accidental in life? Or are you more inclined to say there are some giants worth calling giants? Thank you.